Good morning, everyone. Thanks for dialing in today. We have got quite a few people registered for this webinar, so we're going to just wait a moment or two to allow everybody to join and get comfortable before we begin. So just bear with us momentarily whilst we let everybody join the webinar, and then we'll get cracking. Okay, well, I'll make a little start on the introduction whilst everybody else is joining. So good morning, everybody, on this lovely cold day. My name's Faith Denning. I'm a marketing manager here at InfoTrack, and I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar. So it's been a couple of weeks now since submitting AP1s digitally became mandatory. And whilst some firms have made the change well ahead of the deadline, I know that many are still finding their way around the digital submissions and maybe perhaps are struggling a bit with their choice of platform. So InfoTrack have been submitting AP1s digitally since 2016. And over the last few years, we've been developing constantly the platform along with input from our users so that we can make sure we're hitting the right notes. We're now expecting our millionth submission in the next month or two. So I think it's safe to say that it's a tool that's valued by a lot of conveyancers. We do have a little competition surrounding our millionth AP1 submission, and I'll come back to that after the Q&A session at the end of this morning's webinar. Okay, so taking you through today's webinar, I'm delighted to be joined by Bella Fishwick, who's our product manager here at InfoTrack. She's going to be talking us through the digital AP1 submission, using our platform and explaining some of the features and functionality that make it that much more efficient than other tools. So before we begin the webinar, I'd like to draw your attention, please, to the Q&A tab, which is located at the bottom of your screen. We will be running a Q&A session at the end of this webinar. So if you do have any questions that you might like for Bella, please type them into the Q&A box along with your name. We will try to answer as many questions as we can in the Q&A section, but if we do run out of time or if your question requires further clarification, then we can extract your information and follow up with you directly after the webinar. So without any further ado, I'll hand you over to Bella, who's going to take you through today's webinar and show you how our digital AP1 solution can really help you get through the process. Thanks ever so much, Bella.
Great, thank you, Faye. So as mentioned, I'm Bella and I'm a product manager here at InfoTrack. I look after our land registry products, which basically means I'm responsible for managing and improving them. And I also work closely with the land registry to develop our AP1 alongside their business gateway services. So I'm just going to take you through the presentation, and whilst I'll do that, I'll just stop my video as well. Right, so in today's webinar, I'm going to cover a brief introduction and overview of our solution, and I'll explain how we can support your transition to digital AP1s, obviously following the Land Registry's recent move to digital applications. I'll then explain what our clients like about our AP1 and what you need to consider when moving to a new digital solution. Next, I'll demo our AP1 solution, from easy and quick submissions using a single form and pre-population from your matter, to the general AP1 management, like responding to requisitions, and we'll show you the dashboard as well that you can use. And then finally, I'll hand back to Faye, and as said already, we'll finish with a Q&A if there are any further questions. So here at InfoTrack, we've been offering digital AP1 submissions since 2016. Throughout this time, we've helped over 1,000 firms submit their AP1s, and we've now had over 935,000 submissions through our platform. And as Faye already mentioned, it means we're very close to the 1 million AP1 milestone. As you can see from this slide here, we've had some really good feedback on our solution and how it has helped our users. This includes helping with submissions as well as the AP1 management, but it also includes helping with any queries that our customers have, and we're able to do this swiftly with our account managers and our lovely help desk team as well. So why is InfoTrack the best solution for you? The first thing would be our experience. So as I just mentioned, AP1s have been available on our platform for the past 6 years. And what this means is that we've been able to experience and see what works best for our solution and also what works best for our clients. As a result of this, we've made hundreds of updates and improvements to optimize our AP1 submissions. For example, we've released over 50 enhancements to our AP1 in the past 12 months alone. These updates are always based on our users and their feedback, but we also work closely with the Land Registry to ensure any changes are approved by them. Next, our software is easy to use. So we've designed it to be as simple and user-friendly as well, with a single-page form on submission, added in validations to help increase the accuracy of your AP1s, and also easy management tools like our requisition dashboard. This means that even new users who have just switched to our platform can easily navigate our AP1. And then finally, all of the benefits of our platform are shown in our evidence. So we can see that on average, our clients' requisitions can be reduced by up to 30%, which is obviously a huge benefit for our users, saving them time and reducing delays. And we're also Land Registry's biggest user and key business partner. So this allows us to continue developing our AP1 in conjunction with their business gateway developments. So what do our clients think matter, and what should you consider when moving to a digital AP1 solution? Now, the first thing is dashboards. Dashboards frequently comes up as a key benefit for users. They allow full firm visibility and control of all matters, meaning there's no barriers if you have to pick up a colleague's file. Next, it would be better access to caseworkers. So we have a WhatsApp style chat, which allows firms to liaise with their caseworkers directly, and it also allows users to view and track any requisitions. And then finally, the presence of proper integrations. So as you can see on the screen here, we have a number of case management systems that we integrate with. These integrations allow for pre-population of our forms using the information from that case management system. And how this works is we're basically able to pull the information which has already been added to your file on your case management system, and this can then be populated into the AP1 form. Once submitted, we can then return these forms back into your case management system. And this is done automatically, so it removes any further manual steps for you and also ensures everything is stored in the correct place. So just before I show you our solution, I'll quickly go through kind of what you should be looking out for in this demo. Number one is integrations. So how can our integrations and data population save you time when submitting your applications? Number two is validations. So you'll see once I kind of go through the AP1, we've added quite a few validations into our form. So how can these validations help you to reduce mistakes and prevent incorrect information being submitted, which will inevitably increase the accuracy of your applications? And then number three is requisitions. So how can we help you to easily manage and have full visibility of all requisitions? Great, so I'll now just switch over to our InfoTrack platform so I can walk you through our AP1. So this is the platform, it's like the homepage that you'd come to of our dashboard as you'd enter InfoTrack. There's actually two ways that you can access the platform. So the first is via an integrated case management system, and you'd enter InfoTrack via the file on your case management system. Now, entering via the file will allow data to populate from that file in the case management system into InfoTrack. And what this means is that it will prevent any rekeying of information that's kind of already been inputted into the file, and it will also mitigate the risk of incorrect information being added into your AP1. And the second way is to access InfoTrack via the website. So this is what I've done today. I've accessed InfoTrack via the website, and it will still allow for that data population. However, the population, it will come from other InfoTrack products that have been ordered on the matter, so such as my SDLT, which you can see here. And so on this matter, I've got my existing orders as well. So for example, the conveyancing searches, my title documents here too, and these will allow that data to populate into my AP1 form. Our AP1, it sits under the post-completion workflow just up here, right underneath the SDLT, so you can access the AP1 that way. But you can also access the AP1 directly via your matter, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I'll just click into the AP1 here, and it will load up the form. So once I'm inside the AP1, you can see that the matter reference is populated just here for me. Now, what this means is this allows the information from that specific matter or that specific file to be added into the AP1 form. And depending on the orders that have already been placed on the file, or whether you're using a case management system, we can populate up to 90% of the form. So what I'll do, I'll just start completing the missing information, starting with the registration type, and I'm going to pop that as a dealing. Here you can see the title information has already been populated from my matter. You can also add additional title numbers there. And if you were to click into your title and out, this will verify the title number. So it will show you the verified address. And it would also show you whether there are any pending registrations on that title. So again, this is additional validation that we've added in, and it will reduce the risk of cancellation due to an incorrect title number. All required fields also have the red asterisks here, and this will again prevent submission with missing information. So moving down, you can see as well, we've been able to pre-populate the local authority and the postcode as well, so we can move straight to the priority application section. So here I can select the relevant applications that I want to register. The drop-down menu shows all of the available forms, and we've organised them into the multiple forms here and the common forms there. So this is to save you time, making it easier and faster to pick the more frequent applications without having to add each one in individually. So you can kind of add in the multiple forms there. However, we also have other forms down here, so that's in that section. And if you're maybe submitting a more complex application, such as maybe a staircasing AP1, you can go down and find those applications there. For today's demo though, I'm just going to select the discharge, transfer and charge. So once selected, as you can see, the forms will populate into the priority application section. They'll show in priority order, but if you wanted, you can change that priority order by just simply dragging like so. Here as well, you can see more validation, so such as the mandatory electronically signed question here. This actually integrates with our Sign It for Deeds product, and we built the integration to ensure that you have met the Practice Guide 82 requirements and uploaded the conveyances certificate. So what this means is if you were to select yes to electronically sign there, you can see on the left-hand side here, it automatically uploads an electronically signed conveyances certificate. And if you had submitted one on your matter via our Sign It for Deeds, would automatically look for that and upload it to the AP1 as well. You can also upload your documents here. So for example, your transfer, you'd upload there. And for integrated clients, you can import the files directly from your matter in your case management system. Again, that means there's no need for you to kind of save anything externally. On the right-hand side, we also have dynamic guidance here. It's particularly useful for new starters and also to reduce requisition. So some kind of land registry guidance you can look at as you go through. As I move down, we have the land registry fee section. So you can see here the fee has been pre-populated already, and this is from the SDLT that I submitted on my matter. And from that pre-population of the fee, we've also been able to calculate the fees using our land registry fee calculator. Again, this saves you time because it prevents you having to kind of leave InfoTrack to use a separate calculator. It's all done in the form for you. Under the supporting documents, we will also automatically upload your SDLT5. So that's just here, you can view it there, and that's uploaded from your matter, reducing kind of missing information. So we'd make sure it's always there, so it's not missing from your AP1. So I'll just go down to the next few sections. And the next few sections, they make up what was panel 13 in the paper AP1 form. Now, because we know that missing or incorrect party information is obviously a common cause of requisitions, we've split the next 3 sections into easy to use sections as you go through. You'll see that we'll have the 3 sections, which are the applicants, proprietors, and then the other parties. So I'll just start with the applicants and applicant lenders section. Under this section, you can see that we've populated the purchaser again from the SDLT. And we've also been able to start associating roles for that party. So obviously we know on this AP1 that there's a transfer and a charge, and because of that we've been able to populate the transferee roles and the borrower roles there. So we know that applicant has those roles in relation to the charge on this AP1. However, if you did need to add additional roles, you can just use the option here. So you can add an additional role there and you can select the relevant one. So for example, we have the third party on there and the power of attorney too. So all I need to do for this section is add the applicant lender here. So I'll just start typing the lender in and a drop-down list will appear. You can basically pick the relevant lender and we'll then populate the address for service for that lender. So you'll know you won't need to kind of come out of InfoTrack to check those details. We're able to populate those for you. The lodging conveyancer here is already populated as well, but if you did need to, you can select from the drop-down list. So this would maybe be used if, for example, your process is for support staff to create the AP1 and then the conveyancer to come in and lodge it. So you can kind of change the lodging conveyancer. So next we have the proprietors and proprietor lenders section. So again, we're able to populate the proprietors from the SDLT. So these are my proprietors here. And we've also given them the borrower and transferor roles based on the discharge and transfer. Here as well, we have their conveyancer. So again, this has been populated from the SDLT5. All I need to do now is add the lender for the discharge. So I'll just start adding the lender in here. However, if there's a charge on the title that you're using, we'd also be able to kind of automatically populate the lender from the register in there. What I'll do now as well is just show you if you were to add a new conveyancer. So if you needed to add the other side's conveyancer, you can do so here. If you start typing, we'll give you another drop down, which you can kind of select the relevant conveyancer from, and we'll add their address in there and you can save it. Again, populating the details to save time. This section here are the parties. So for example, if there were any further parties, you can add those in there. And I'll now go through to the associate application section. So the associate application section is where we need to review the applications and parties and confirm that they're correct and they kind of relate to each other. Now, because this is a smart form, we've been able to complete this section based on the information already added into the AP1. So as you can see here, we have the borrower and lenders for the discharge, transferee and transferors for the TR1, and then the borrower and lender for the new charge as well. Because we're able to populate these details, again, it just saves you time and it prevents mistakes from you having to re-enter that information. So for example, if you were having to re-enter it here, there might be name mismatches, which can obviously cause those requisitions. This section obviously does look slightly different to the paper form, but we've designed it to ensure that even those with less experience can use it and easily see the parties here and the application that they're associated to there. Moving down in the form, we have the address for service here, so you can just select or enter the address manually. And we also have the disclosable interest, which we automatically kind of select as no, but you can change that if needed. Now onto the LMS section. So we actually have an integration with LMS. What this means is that you can select your LMS case number from the drop down here. And if you link it to your LMS case number, we can then automatically upload the AP1 submission receipt and the completion document into the conveyances zone. So this means that there's no need for you to manually do this because we'll automatically send those to the conveyances zone. Another useful integration with AP1 form is the ability to link your priority searches. So what this means is if you have a priority search on your matter, we'll give you the option to mute your expiry alerts before you submit, so as you're submitting your AP1. And if your AP1 was to, for instance, be cancelled, we'll turn those expiry alerts back on for you. Next is our notes section here. So this allows for full form flexibility. So you can add any additional notes here, just something along those lines. And those additional notes will go directly to the land registry. So they'll accompany your application and the caseworker will review these with your AP1. We also have the MRO1 lodgement software, so we can populate the certificate wording straight into this note section as well. In the credentials section, which is just here, you can add your land registry credentials for the AP1 to be submitted via land registry account. However, there's also the option to add those credentials into your settings, which is up here on the right-hand side, and we only ever ask them to be entered once. And then lastly, there's the option to add a third party for notification. So this will mean that the additional party will receive the requisitions and confirmations for the application. So you can just add them in there. You can also save the AP1. So down here in the bottom right, you can save the AP1 for you or a colleague to review at a different time. So that means you can kind of come into it at a completely different day, and you and a colleague can review it and then submit once you're ready. There's also the overview here. So on the left-hand side, we have the overview of the application and all the details in there. So again, you can kind of easily see all the details you've entered and check through those. And once you've saved the AP1, we'll show it in a draft AP1 paper format, so you can kind of look through it in a format that you might be more used to. Once your AP1 is submitted, we return the submission receipts as well, and this is returned on your InfoTrack account, but also via email, just to confirm that it's obviously gone off and been sent to the land registry. We also have the FAQs in the top right-hand corner, so this is just up here. Here you can search for common questions, so keywords, for example, power of attorney, so you can search for those there and see our common questions in relation to that. The questions that we've compiled here are based on frequent calls and questions that have been raised to our help desk team from our users. So we do believe that obviously most of those frequent questions are in there. However, if you did need any further help when submitting your AP1, we have our help desk team they're always happy to help. Great, so that's everything in regards to the AP1 form, but I'll now take you over to our AP1 dashboard. So the dashboard can be found just down here on the left-hand side. I'll just enter it here. We know managing submissions and requisitions is integral to all law firms. So we built our dashboard to give full visibility and obviously easy management for your AP1s. In the dashboard, you can filter by user up here. And you can also filter applications by their status. So for example, your in-progress applications there. Also, we have the export option here. So this will download the applications into a CSV file. I'm just going to enter into this in-progress AP1 just to show you what it looks like once you're inside. So on the left-hand side here is where all the relevant orders on that matter will be kept. So if you had any other products that have been ordered on InfoTrack, they will all be kept here. Again, it just keeps everything in one place. And then on the right-hand side is our chat function where you can contact your caseworker. So here we've built some handy functions, so such as the ability to add an internal note. So for example, if you need to deal with this requisition and let your colleague know, you can add the note here and save that, and it will just give the internal note there for any colleagues. Moving on to our structured responses. So within here, you can use the respond to requisition option. And then in here, we have the option to regenerate details. So for example, you can regenerate the details of a name within panel 13. So we know this is a common cause of requisition, obviously name mismatches, panel 13. So we built this so that you can easily advise on any amendments in a format that the land registry would accept. So for example, you'd come in here and you can add in the details of the name mismatch and you can just send that straight to the land registry too. However, we also have this free type option. So if you just wanted to kind of enter a message here, that will again go straight to the land registry and you can upload supporting documents as well. The request HMLR action option is also here. I'll just show you that now. And this allows you to make common requests to your caseworker with templates that we've created to save you time. For example, you can easily request an update or cancellation of your application. So you just click that there, the reason why, and you can send that off to the land registry. Again, this WhatsApp style chat means your response is sent straight to the land registry for the relevant caseworker to view. And it also allows you and your colleagues to easily keep track of the correspondence and manage your requisition. So you can see here, just there's a trail of all requisitions and responses as well. So you can easily go and view those. We also have the day list option here. So just up here is the day list. You can see your application there alongside any other pending applications. The All Related Files tab here as well. This shows any supporting documents or documents that relate to your application. And if you're integrated, these would populate directly back into your case management system too. So I'll just come out of the AP1, and on the right-hand side here, you can see we have our calendar. So the calendar allows you to keep track of your AP1s and your OS priority searches as well. So this ensures that you can easily monitor key dates and make sure that no key dates are missed too. And then finally, if you did need any further help with the platform, submitting, or kind of with any AP1 management as well, we have our help desk number at the top here. So you can kind of give help desk a call and you'll easily be connected to an AP1 expert. They'll be able to talk you through the platform. They know it really well, so they'll be able to help you with anything. Or alternatively, you could always contact your account managers. They're always happy to help, but especially with training as well. So hopefully that's given you a good overview of our product and how we can help you with your AP1 submissions. I'll just quickly kind of recap what we've covered. So we've gone over how you can complete an AP1 as a single page on InfoTrack, how 90% of your AP1 is pre-populated with data mapped from your matter, how to use our AP1 dashboard to stay on top of all your submissions firm-wide and also contact your caseworker directly, and how you and your firm can benefit from digital AP1 submissions with InfoTrack's post-completion software. Great, so I'll just now pass it back to Faye. So yeah, I'll just pass it back to Faye for any acute questions.
That's great. Thank you very much indeed, Bella, for your presentation and your insights there. That was really very useful. We have had quite a few questions come through from our audience. So if we jump into the Q&A section of the webinar now, we'll come to the competition section afterwards. So the first one for you, somebody has asked, on the lease extension option, InfoTrack does sometimes ask for client ID, but they've already completed their AML checks on their own systems. Is there any reason why this is flagged as red and won't let them progress?
I think for that client ID, is that in regards, I'd have to kind of maybe get a few more details on that as to where the ID is being asked, whether it's in relation maybe to a self-representing party. I'm not 100% sure. If they could maybe send through a few more details and we can definitely have a look into that further.
Okay, yeah, please do send through further questions on that. That would be useful, whoever raised that question. The next question is, somebody has asked how to drag application, for example, a TR1 priority, then charge. Not quite sure I understand that question. The LMS case, do they send updated title to the other side or to themselves?
So with the LMS integration, what we'll do is we send the completion documents to the conveyances zone in LMS. So that kind of gets automatically uploaded to that conveyances zone within LMS.
Okay, lovely. Another person has asked to pay the registration fee.
So with the registration fee, that's actually charged via your land registry account. So the land registry will directly debit that through your land registry account, and that will kind of come out automatically.
Thank you very much. Another person has said, am I limited to the type of applications that I can submit?
No, so you're not limited to type of applications. We have quite an extensive drop-down list with all those applications in. And if for whatever reason the application that you want to submit isn't on there, you can always get in touch with us because there will be kind of like a workaround with what is accepted via the business gateway.
Perfect, thank you. I've got another question that's come through. For applications involving transfers of parts, so the TP1,
yeah,
often required to submit an RX1 to register a restriction against the new title. I couldn't see that the option given on the AP1 dashboard. Does that exist, or would the RX1 need to be drawn up and manually submitted separately?
So you can include the RX1 within your application. Under the priority application section, you just select the RX1 application type there, and then you can upload your RX1. So that should be uploaded like your TP1 is uploaded, and you can submit that, and land registry will know obviously to register the RX1 along with the TP1 too.
Okay, that's lovely, thank you. Can I lodge first registrations digitally?
So unfortunately not. First registration is one of the only applications that kind of can't be done via Business Gateway, and this is because land registry require first registrations to be sent via post.
Okay, that's great, thank you. Another question is, using the contact HMLR option, are the queries integrated into the platform? This person has had instances that land registry have said they haven't received any query using this function.
Okay, yeah, so the HMLR request action, it gets sent to the land registry via the business gateway. So what this will mean is when the caseworker accesses the application, they'll be able to review and see all the correspondence as well. So they should definitely be receiving those. And obviously, if there's any instances where they're not, just get in touch with us and we can look into that further.
Okay, that's great. Does everyone in the firm need to have EDRS credentials in order to lodge an AP1 via InfoTrack? And how do they know whether they have EDRS credentials?
So no, not everyone does, just those who are acting as the lodging conveyancers. And to check whether you have EDRS credentials, you just need to log into your land registry account and it should be on there to confirm.
Okay, that's lovely. And I think this is the last question. Can I lodge complex applications via InfoTrack's AP1?
Yeah, so we do have those complex applications as well. So that priority application list includes a range of applications from staircasing to portfolio applications as well. So they're all in there. And as I said as well, our help desk team can help you with any complex applications if you need help for the platform too.
Okay, that's great. Well, that's all of our questions. So we just need the person that asked about the AML checks on their own systems to come back to us directly so that we can have some more information to answer that one. So as promised, we're now going to go on to our exciting news about our competition. So yeah, I'd like to say a big thank you to Bella for joining us today and giving us all of that information. So before I wrap up, some of you may already be aware, but we have got some exciting news. So as I mentioned earlier, we are expecting the 1 millionth AP1 submission to come through our platform either in late January or early February. And we couldn't miss this opportunity to celebrate and have a bit of fun in the new year. So we've launched our AP1 in a Million competition. So basically anyone who submits AP1s through InfoTrack has a chance to win. So if you're the lucky person who submits the 1 millionth request, you could win a stay for 2 in a luxury hotel, as well as a celebratory event for your team. So that's something that we want everybody to take part in. It's going to be the 1 millionth person that submits their AP1 submission. So it's wait and see, but as soon as we have the news, we'll launch that and let you know. So if you have any other questions about anything else that you've learned today, then I think Bella's just going to put some details on screen. Thanks, Bella. So yeah, please reach out to us using those contact details or reach out to your account manager who will be more than happy to assist you. So before I let you go, I just want to let you know that this session is being recorded and I will be sharing a copy with you later on so that you can refer back to it. So all that's left to say is a big thank you to Bella for today's insights and thank you to everyone that's joined us today. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much indeed. Take care and goodbye, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.